In news from the USVI criminal courts, we learned that one woman is facing child abuse charges from an incident dating back to December 2020. A man faces assault charges after an altercation at a gas station, while another man answers to two sets of charges from two separate incidents at the same address. 21-year-old Antanazia Marrero was arrested last Friday in connection with a reported incident from over 2 years ago. On December 11th, 2020, a minor child and his mother reportedly had a heated exchange of words in the presence of Marrero, after which the boy went to his bedroom. His mother followed, but Marrero allegedly pushed her out of the way to accost the child. He left the room to go outside the apartment, but Marrero reportedly grabbed him and marched him to the kitchen, where she wrapped her left arm around his neck and began to squeeze, strangling him. The boy told her to let go because he couldn't breathe, upon which Marrero reportedly slammed him against the kitchen wall before manhandling him into the living room, where she slammed him onto the floor before reportedly starting to strangle him once again. The minor allegedly pleaded with his mother to intervene, but she declined to intercede. Police were called to the address, and when they arrived, they noted redness and several scratches on the minor's neck. A warrant was issued for Marrero, but she was not arrested until November 18, 2022, last Friday, outside her workplace. She now faces charges of assault in the second degree as an act of domestic violence, simple assault and battery as an act of domestic violence, and child abuse. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that Marrero be allowed to post an unsecured bond for the full $50,000 bail requirement to secure her release. Once posted, she will be placed with a third-party custodian. Marrero is barred from leaving St. Croix without the court's written permission and must not apply for a passport. She is to report to the probation office weekly and cannot enter the premises where the incident took place. Marrero is ordered to have absolutely no contact with the alleged victim or any witnesses in the matter. A discovery conference is set for April 19, 2023. A St. Croix man, Irvin Noel Sr., was arrested on November 20th following an incident at the Freedom City service station. Documents before the court state that police met up with a man who told them that he'd been shopping for groceries when another man walked up to him and slapped him twice in the face. The aggressor then reportedly asked if the victim wanted another slap. The recipient of the slaps told police that instead he walked away and went home. Officers went to Freedom City to review the establishment's surveillance footage, which showed the complainant sitting under the garage when he was approached by someone later identified as Irvin Noel Sr. Police watched as the complainant reached his hand out to greet Noel, and Noel pushed it away. The two men then engaged in what appeared to be a conversation, after which Noel walked away before turning back to strike the other man in the face with the palm of his hand. In the audio, Noel could be heard cursing the victim. Noel was still at the service station when police arrived, and when they asked him to explain his behavior, he reportedly told them that he slapped the man twice in the face for disrespecting his godfather. Noel was then arrested and charged with simple assault and battery. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that Noel be allowed to post $500 in cash to secure his release. He is to have no contact with the complainant or any witnesses in the matter. 21-year-old Manuel Perez appeared before a VI Superior Court judge on Monday, facing two sets of charges from two separate incidents at the same address. On May 31st of this year, police were dispatched to a residence in the Candido Guadalupe housing community to investigate a robbery. When they arrived, they found the victim covered in blood, her face and clothing, with a piece of a gold chain still hanging around her neck where it had been ripped off. There was blood on the floor of the living room, the laundry room, and the victim's bedroom, while a white towel in the sink also appeared to have blood on it. Perez was still inside the house where the robbery had taken place, and his sister was also nearby. The woman told police that she had been in her living room when a knife-wielding, shirtless man wearing gray shorts and a black ski mask entered the residence through the back door into the laundry room. He announced that he wanted the chain the victim was wearing and proceeded to grab it from her neck. He then reportedly struck the victim in her head several times with the handle of the knife while she pleaded for her life, causing 4 lacerations. The victim ran out of the residence through the laundry room in an attempt to escape, and the bandit followed, veering north as though he was headed towards another building in the housing community. In his hands was the victim's gold chain, valued at $300. The assailant returned to the residence with a woman in tow, and they began, remarkably, to clean up the blood from the living room floor. Police arrived to find the man sitting on the armrest of the victim's love seat, and the woman said she did not say anything at the time because she was afraid the man would come back to kill her. About a week and a half later, Perez did return. On June 11th, the complainant told police that they had woken up to use the restroom and heard a noise in the living room. They saw a shadow on the front porch and realized that someone was tampering with the window, cutting the screen with an unknown object. The woman said she began to bang on the glass sliding door to scare the would-be intruder away, upon which the man ran northwards away from the residence. In the well-lit front porch, the complainant was able to see the intruder's short, red-tipped locks and recognize the slim, brown-skinned man as the same person who had robbed and assaulted her on May 31st. Manuel Perez was recognizable as someone who lived in a nearby building and who walked and rode his motorcycle in the area daily. The next day, on June 12th, the victim was presented with a photo array of 6 men with similar facial characteristics and pinpointed Perez as the perpetrator immediately. It is unclear why arrest warrants were not issued until November 9th, but Perez was eventually arrested and charged with home invasion, robbery in the first degree assault, third-degree assault, carrying and using a dangerous weapon, and grand larceny for the first incident, and burglary in the first degree and destruction of property for the June 11th incident. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that Perez could only be released if he could post 10% of the $75,000 bail amount for each incident and identify a suitable third-party custodian. If he is able to secure his release, Perez would then be placed on 24-hour house arrest with an electronic monitor. He is also barred from leaving St. Croix without the court's written permission, must turn over his passport, and is to report to the probation office every Tuesday. He must also look for work. Perez is to have absolutely no contact with the alleged victim or any witnesses. He is also barred from entering the unit in which the robberies allegedly took place. His pre-trial conference is scheduled for January 27, 2023.